All right, so it's time now for the one of the world's dumbest segments ever made by me. Coach Big coaching points, Coach Big Pete's coaching big points, whatever the hell it is. It doesn't really matter. Um, Deep dish football playoff game of the week between Oswego versus Lincoln Way East. How should I start this? One two teams, two offensive coordinators, two offenses. Saw a little bit of the Andrews game versus Lincoln Way East. Oswego, their whole library of other stuff, and I've had experience with us watching Oswego film last year too. Um, but basically, Oswego basically, like I said before in the last videos and all that, common sense towards their offensive line. Not asking too much from the offensive line and having the offensive line in the right position for making holes for Charles Coleman, who's an absolute beast. Um, basically, basically a ball control type of offense, but can also spread the ball on you with some great athletes. On Lincoln Way's side, mostly a spread offense from what I could see. A little bit of the two tight end set, which I was absolutely shocked by. Really don't see that much, especially with big schools from 7A to 8A. But it's only on the goal line stance, but they do it more than usual, which is good to see. Like I said, a variety of talents that Lincoln Wayne has on that team. They look great, especially with a stack of quarterbacks in there too. Depth at quarterback is unbelievable for Lincoln Way East. Basically, Lincoln Way East on defense does basically a four-man front, 2-3, sometimes two, switching to three. But from what I could gather in that, it's basically they're the four front guys do basically simple baseline defensive line, which is mostly common, especially when you have those type of athletes for Lincoln Way East or any type of the big high school. A baseline offense is a baseline defensive line is usually is what is expected. Oswego's defense. Noah Shannon's a beast up middle. How do you beat that? Lincoln Way East. I really do think that Oswego will take a little bit out of St. Charles East playbook. I think that's going to be a very key thing for that too. I think Lincoln Way East will try. My personal feelings is to try to exploit the short zones in the passing game, basically. Also, take it outside. Run the ball outside, stretch the linebackers for that Lincoln Way East team. But again, I'll probably be wrong, like usual. Like I said, this is one of the worst segments ever. For Oswego, I think that the generalization offensive line to get into that 4.2, 4.5 per carry for Charles Coleman will be key to their victory, and all those running backs, that group of running backs that they have for per carry. Lincoln Way East, basically a completion percentage, talking about maybe over 52, 53, about 52 to 55 from what is seen. So hopefully it works. It's going to be a good game. I really do think that's going to be based on Noah Shannon from Oswego. He's going to be a huge decider for that game. I also think for Lincoln Way East, how that offensive line does a great job against the Oswego defensive line, and the Oswego interior linemen, how they do against those two defensive tackles of Lincoln Way East. And can they make the holes enough for Coleman? Also, one of the things too is um, the quarterbacks reads for Lincoln Way East against those deadly defensive backs for Oswego is going to be another thing to look at too. So it should be interesting. It's going to be a good game. I think the first two series of downs are going to set the tempo for the game. I really do. And I think you can tell by the end of those where the game's going to go. Simple as that. So it should be a fun time. Oswego Lincoln East, Coach Big Pete's coaching points, the worst segment in the state of Illinois. I guarantee you that. Well, thank you so much. And this is Coach Big Pete of DeepDishFootball.com. Please follow Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you have any questions, email me, CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. Thank you so much and have a lovely night.